YouTube, to be live on YouTube. Excuse me. Yes, we are live on YouTube. Can you hear me clearly and see me clearly? I'm sure Queen Helen Casey will be the first one in the house saying I'm here and you're good. I think I've corrected my issue from yesterday, Queen, in case you're here. Folks, can you hear me clearly and see me clearly? Let me know. It's a beautiful day here today in Redwood City, California. It's 78 degrees outside right here at Red Morton Park. And I've got another great coaching topic here for you folks today. You're getting a double dose of Coach Eli today, and possibly, if I have any energy left later on tonight, maybe a triple dose. Maybe an early, well, not an early, but maybe a late evening show or a late night show from the studio again. We'll see how it goes, but I feel good today. I have lots of energy. But yeah, can you hear me clearly and see me clearly? I haven't heard from anyone yet, so we're just going to roll like things are rolling smoothly. So while I wait for some people to come in and just verify that the stream is rolling properly, an interesting note. Let's see. The Queen is here. Can you hear me okay, Queen? Can you hear me? Do you hear me tapping the microphone? I think the issue has been solved. There's a workaround to everything. Welcome back, Queen. Thank you so much for being on the stream earlier. What were your thoughts about that stream earlier, Queen? I thought it was a pretty good stream. It was more so done from the heart, which is how a lot of my content is done. It's all done from the heart, but you know, I also base it on my past personal experiences of what I've been through, you know. But on an interesting note, I had to go to the gas station to get some gas, and I wanted to pick a couple energy drinks while I was there, just to stock up my fridge while my Amazon order comes. And I walked in, and some people were not wearing masks, and neither was the clerk. And then I noticed a sign on the door on the way out. It said that people that are vaccinated are not required to wear a mask. I guess I have not been paying attention. I think the mask mandate has finally been lifted here in California. I've been so consumed with so many other things that I didn't realize. I guess Newsom got rid of the mask mandate as long as you're vaccinated, which makes sense, right? So I don't think I have to wear a mask anywhere that I go. Now, I did wear a mask in there today. And then interestingly enough, when I can't even talk. Interestingly enough, when I got to my car and took off my mask, the strap snapped off. It was a brand new mask. I bought one of those 50 packs. I think the company's Homedics. I bought a 50 pack from Costco last year. I still have about maybe 35 or 36 of them left in the box because you can keep reusing them, right? But yeah, the mask mandate seems to be lifted. I haven't seen documentation on that, but I'm assuming it has been. So this is unverified. But yeah, if the sign's on the door in a California business saying all vaccinated people are not required to wear a mask, that's what I assume. I'll look into it when I get back to my place. Maybe Queen, you know. if the mandate's been lifted in California. Anyway, let me see here real quick. Those jabs. Let me guess, the gas price is high. Oh yeah, well, Queen, gas is well over four. It's over $4 a gallon here in the Bay Area. In the Bay Area, it's like more expensive than anywhere else. California already has some of the highest gas prices in the country because we have very strict emissions here. We need to have a special blend of fuel, which is more expensive to produce, meaning that we pay more for it. And plus, 4th of July weekend, people were driving. This is probably the most expensive time of the year for gas. So yeah, gas is over $4 a gallon. And I get premium, so it's like over $4.50 a gallon. Some stations are as high as $4.99 per gallon, but those are on the high end. You typically avoid those. So yeah, it's around like $4.30 to $4.50 a gallon for gas here in California right now. Queen, how are gas prices in your neck of the woods? You're out there, I believe, in New York, so I mean, you have similar prices. New York is right there, with California and the Bay Area with the cost of living, right? I mean, certain areas are cheaper, obviously, but for the most part, New York is not a cheap state to live in most areas, especially if you're near the city. The big city, New York, right, Queen? So, anyway, I'm just going to wait another minute or so. Wait another minute or so for a few more people to join us on the stream. I plan on doing at least 3 laps today, maybe 4. It just depends. Depends how I feel. When my body tells me, hey, it's good enough, it's good enough. I can tell when I've gotten enough exercise. And I've been eating right lately, for the most part, so I'm not concerned about putting on any pounds or anything. It's all good. Anyway, let's get right to it. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the Walking with Purpose live edition. Live from Red Morton Park. This is episode number 118. And today, we're going to be discussing a very interesting topic. There's some dude coming. I want to try to avoid people, not ruin the stream. By the way, here's a creek that runs through the park in Redwood City. I don't know if you can see that. Sometimes kids will jump and play in there. A lot of the homes out here have not been updated. The original owners own them. So you have more of like a rustic look in this part of Redwood City, like an old school type of look, which is what I love. Don't get me wrong, it is clean, but it doesn't look modern for a reason, because that's the purpose. It's to keep that rustic look. Now, you go into downtown Redwood City, they've redone that. It looks like a mini San Francisco. Like all of the cities along the peninsula between San Jose, well, that's the South Bay, between the South Bay and, San Francisco, it's about an hour drive. All of the cities along the way, even cities up where I live here in San Mateo County, have now been updated with lots more apartments, new movie theaters, lots of, fast casual dining restaurants, because that's what the millennials like. The millennials like fast casual because they have zero patience and they're lazy. Not all you, but a lot of you are, right? You like the fast casual, good quality food that can be made quick, and you can either eat it in the restaurant or you could take it to go real easy, real easy. Like a perfect example of fast casual would be Chipotle. They make great burritos and they have great chips. It's all fresh, but it's quick. You get in line, you tell them what you want, they make it for you quick. They charge you at the register, and you either sit down, in the restaurant, there's a little bit of seating, or you take it to go, right? But now, even it's gotten more lazy with DoorDash and Grubhub and all those companies that are delivering food right to your place without you even leaving. God, we've become such a lazy society with these damn smartphones, right, Queen? But yeah, the topic we're going to be discussing today is, give me a second here. Overly cautious women. Guys, beware of overly cautious women and how to deal with overly cautious women. And why are they overly cautious? How can you tell? It's quite simple. Now, I'm going to start off and say this, because I'm not here to offend anybody, and I'm not here to say that women and even men shouldn't be cautious to a certain level. I think any normal human being should always take into consideration a reasonable level of cautiousness in everything they do, right? But when somebody is overly cautious about anything in general, let's say they're overly cautious about giving out their number on an online dating site, they're probably going to be overly cautious about every aspect of life. And that, to me, in my honest opinion, is not a person that's living an emotionally or mentally, or both, mentally and emotionally healthy lifestyle. I'll explain more as I get into it here in a second. I'm seeing some messages pop up, but I gotta get into the shade so I can see this. Well, thanks, Rick, for putting the actual title out there. Why men should avoid all dating apps. Our title should be Why Men Should Avoid All Dating Apps at All Costs. Well, Riff, you are a MGTOW monk. I would not expect anything less from you. Thank you for being here. Queen Helen Casey says, Governor Cuomo just signed something for gun violence. In other words, take people's guns away so nobody can protect themselves. I'll share more about my thoughts regarding that in a second, Queen. Hey, BWYA Gaming. She says, hey, Eli and everyone. Hey, Rip says, gaming. Hello, Gaming says, Riff. BWYA Gaming says, hi, Queen. Welcome to Sarcasm 101 says, Riff. At least a nice day for a walk. No wind. There's a little bit of wind, but not much. And I've got my microphone situation fixed today. But everyone's just saying hello. It's a nice day for a walk, says Gaming. It absolutely is. Is the sound and video coming in pretty clear? Gaming, Queen, Riff, thank you for being here. Queen, on a side note, outside of the topic, regarding gun control and all that stuff, I don't really think anybody wants to take away Second Amendment rights. I think what people are trying to do is protect us good people by not putting guns into the wrong hands of people that are mentally and emotionally unstable. Queen, the last thing you want to do, or the last thing we want to see, is somebody mentally and emotionally unstable, buy a gun, get a permit, and be able to get a gun and walk around with a loaded gun. I've talked about this before, I'll say it again. I'm all for Second Amendment rights, even though it's more of a conservative thing and I'm more liberal. But here's the thing. I think we need to put every person that wants to own a gun, first of all, they must have a gun permit, right? And to get that gun permit, they must go through a rigorous psychological evaluation that they are mentally and emotionally fit to properly carry a gun. Queen, the last thing we want is some emotionally unstable dude or chick walking around with a loaded pistol, where one wrong thing that people say according to what they think is wrong is going to get someone probably shot and killed. That's the thing that's my only issue with it, Queen. As far as trying to take away rights from people, I'm all for people having rights. I'm also for doing things safely and protecting people from crazies walking around with loaded pistols, shooting at anything and everything if they feel like it for no reason, right? And I think that's all that your governor's trying to do. Now, I'm not that fond of your governor. I do like his brother on CNN. I do like Chris. I like Chris Cuomo. I think Andrew Cuomo's a little bit strange. I think he's a little bit I think he's a little bit lonely and likes young women. And I can't really blame him for that, but he's in a very professional government position. So he shouldn't be a parent with that. He shouldn't be doing some of the things he did in the past that made some of his staff, young females, feel uncomfortable. So from that standpoint, I can understand why you're not too fond of Governor Cuomo. But as far as, trying to make gun laws a little bit stricter, I think that's for the better. To protect us from crazies just going out there and shooting everything in sight for no reason. Does that make sense, sir? Coach, if you know what the second says, it is the gun permit. No further permit is needed. I understand that, asystole. What I'm saying is, in order to qualify for that permit, you should have to take a rigorous psychological exam that you are mentally and emotionally stable and competent to carry. Why would we want to give anyone a permit to carry a gun that's not stable? It's going to go out there and just kill innocent people. This is the one thing I don't understand about you conservatives. Like, I love everybody, right? And I'm only slight left, right? This is what I don't get about conservatives or the people on the alt-right. No one's trying to take away anything. All some people are trying to do is protect crazies from going around and killing innocent people because they're having a bad day and they lost their emotional shit, right? Does that make sense? Okay. I got a lot of kids in my path here today, so I'm gonna have to hang on for a second here, folks. Wow, it is really, really busy here today. This is summertime. I don't know if people are coming here to visit the new playground, or if there's summer school or daycare or something, but there are just a lot of cars here right now. It's all good. I'll try to not get distracted. So anyway, enough of the Second Amendment and Como and all that stuff. We can talk about that another time. Maybe I'll do a show on that in the studio. How you doing, Specialized, aka 810? How you been? If you missed my stream from earlier, check it out. I thought it was pretty good. All from the heart, man. So we're talking about overly cautious women. And men, you should avoid overly cautious women like the plague. So how do you spot an overly cautious woman? I've kind of shared some of these examples sporadically throughout some past shows and videos I've done, but I'm going to summarize everything here today. For example, if you're on the Bumble app has a phone calling feature and a video chat feature, right? So in essence, you can connect with these women without even having to give your phone number or ask for theirs. Through the Bumble app, you can make a voice call or a video call, right? And most women I've encountered on the app want to chat through there first, right? And it's a big no-no for me. I haven't chatted with one woman on there. Now, how has that affected me on the app? Well, first of all, why would I rather call them, on their actual phone number, right? Because number one, I want to get off the app and not get distracted. And same with the woman. Now, granted, just because we're talking on the phone doesn't mean the app isn't open and notifications aren't coming through. But if you're on a call or a video chat through the app, that notification is going to be more apparent. It's going to come right to the front of your phone. And it just gets distracting. And women get tons of messages, right? Number two, if a woman gives you her number, it's not saying she's a whole lot more invested into you, but she's at least a little more invested into you than if you were just talking through the app. If a woman gives you her phone number, that's showing that she's a little more invested, like I just said, than she would be if she was just going to talk with you through the app, right? Now, my honest opinion, those women that try to chat with you through the app, they're just trying to do that because they're not ready to talk to anyone off the app. They want to feel out 10 or 20 men, right? By chatting with them through the app without having to give out their number or anything, without investing anything, right? And I know they're doing that, so I'm the kind of guy that goes in there and says, listen, I would prefer to talk off the system. I'm looking to get to know someone on a more personable level and get off this app. There are too many distractions here. I'm pretty straight up. I let the women know that, hey, if you're that interested in me, this is your one chance. I'm not going to wait around on eternal backup status because women are getting a lot of messages and so are men. Like, I'm probably not getting as many as women are getting, but because I purchased Bumble Premium and I've swiped left or right on everyone possible, I'm getting anywhere from 5 to 10 matches a day. And I've probably got about 30 or 40 open conversations, maybe 50 open conversations. So let me tell you something. It's overwhelming enough for me as a man. When women are getting 10 times the messages, it's way more overwhelming for them. So you got to get them, if they show interest, you got to get them to the phone as quickly as possible And you got to ask for their number. And if they say, I'd rather talk on the app here, it's safer, and this and that, well, I would prefer to exchange numbers. I'm more traditional. You try to make it sound like you're not being pushy, but you want to make it sound like, hey, I'm looking for somebody that's ready to get off this app and really get to know someone. Blah, blah, blah. If they come back a second time and say, well, I just don't feel comfortable giving me my number, and that's why this app was created this way, at that point, I won't even respond to them. I'll just block them right there. Why do I do that? Because that's a woman that's being overly cautious. That's a woman that's being overly cautious. And to me, in my opinion, that's not healthy. Now, let me check out the chat here real quick before I continue. The woman behind you is wondering who the F is that guy with the Wookiee. Okay. The Wookiee testicle, okay. Good evening, Louis. How you doing, bro? Welcome to the show. Glad to have you on board here, bro. So again, a woman that is not willing to trade numbers on a dating app, even though most dating apps now have a call feature, right? Call and or video feature built in the app, is not invested enough, and I'm not going to waste my time. And I'm going to give him 2 chances. I'm going to tell him the first time that I'd rather talk off the phone. The second time I'm going to say, well, I'm looking to talk with somebody that's ready to get off the app. There are too many distractions on here. I'd like to focus on getting to know you. I'm a good dude. If you want to send me your number, I'd be happy to chat with you. And then if they get back and say, well, it's I just don't feel comfortable doing that. That's what the app is for. I want to take my time on the app. And okay. Now, it used to be these apps, up until a few years ago, didn't even have a calling feature. Even Match.com has that now as well, right? So in the past, women didn't have the option of saying, I'd rather talk on the app. They would just give you their number if they were interested, right? So what's the difference now? And why are these dating sites adding call features and video features? Is it because they really care about the woman's safety or the man's safety? Well, maybe to a certain extent, yes. But no, they want you staying on their platform longer. It's a feature that's going to keep you on their platform longer. It's going to show you online. It's going to bring more value to other people that are paid for their product. And it's very easy to, sell that feature. Actually, on Match.com, the Match phone costs a little extra. You have to pay extra for it. But on Bumble, it's included. And basically, it's real easy for the people running these companies to add these features because they know women will take advantage of them, because women want to be able to talk with you at their convenience, choose you at their convenience, dismiss you at their convenience, and decide if they want to give you their number at their convenience. If you pass all their tests through messaging, and then talking through a voice app built into the app where you don't have to exchange numbers. That's basically giving women so much flexibility to not have to commit to anything, right? That's giving women more flexibility than they bargained for in this modern world. And that's what really bothers me, is the fact that it's already very, very easy for women to dismiss men. Now, this makes it easier for women to say, hey, let's just talk on the app. And then, boom, there's no investment. Now, it's not like if she gave me her number, it didn't work out, I'm going to crank call her. No. But what I'm saying is if a woman is saying that I need to be cautious and use the app, I don't give out my number right away, that's basically stating that, they're not really invested in getting to know you. And I don't want to waste my time on getting to know a woman that's not truly interested in getting to know me. So what have the numbers been like? So out of, I probably connect with 50 women, like I said, right? On Bumble. And out of those 50, I've probably asked for 20 numbers. And I'd say out of those 20, 5 of them gave me their number right away. The other 15 were saying that they want to talk on the app. I sent them a second message saying that I'd prefer to talk off the app. It's more personable, blah, blah, blah. Everything I just said a few minutes ago. And what happened after I did that? Another 5 gave me their number, and then the other 10 just didn't feel comfortable, right? So this is what the numbers are, folks. 25% of the women that I've tried to connect with off of Bumble by exchanging numbers were willing to give their number out. Boom. No problem, because they felt, okay, they want to get to know me, right? That's healthy. That's healthy. That's normal. Okay? Another 25% gave me their number after they first would tell me they want to talk on the app. But then I was kind with them and I said, listen, this is why I'd rather prefer to talk off the system. And after a second time, boom, another 25% gave their number. 50% of the women on the app don't feel comfortable giving their number. They want to talk on the app. What does that tell me? That tells me that that's an overly cautious woman. It's an overly cautious woman. To me, that's not a healthy thing. It's not a good thing. And again, I'm not saying that men and women shouldn't take a certain level of caution into consideration in everything they do in life. But if you're going to take that much caution to the point of where you don't feel comfortable giving your number, when if somebody tries to crank call you nowadays, they'll just block you, right? And what are these women afraid of? Someone's going to look up their number and find out where they live or find out if they're real. Look, everyone's looking up everybody today in the world, right? We want to make sure that you're just a normal, decent person, right? And even if somebody looks a woman up by her number, what are we going to actually do? It's going to basically let us know a little bit more about them, whether they're date worthy or not. And if they have our number, they're going to do the same thing, right? Unless you're smart like me and you use Google Voice, which is what I use. I use Google Voice because I want to make sure that someone doesn't have all my info until I get to know them, because a lot of women can be emotionally crazy, right? And maybe they fear the same thing on the flip side. I wouldn't even mind if a woman had a Google Voice number. I've actually talked to a few women that have a Google Voice number, right? So I don't care if it's Google Voice or if it's their actual number, as long as we get off that dating app. What I'm trying to do is get these women off the dating app and invest into getting to know me. And that's what you guys should do as well. If she's not willing to do that, then she's not ready to move forward with anyone. She just wants to sit on the app and seek validation, chit-chat back and forth with multiple guys throughout the day at her leisure. She makes it more into a game than looking for someone to actually hang out with and spend time with, right? Women have a lot of options nowadays, guys. And men on Bumble, they have a good amount of options too, but women have way more options. It's a lot easier for women to find what they want on these dating apps, especially Bumble, than it is for men. And The last thing you want to do is get caught up with a woman in an endless messaging conversation, and then then she wants to chat with you 3 or 4 times through the Bumble app, and next thing you know, you invest all that time. In the meantime, she was talking to another guy, and now she's chosen him, and now you wasted your time. That's why I get to the number quick. I'm like, if no number is going to be exchanged, then there's no level of investment, then she gets no attention from me. You want to keep it on Bumble, sweetheart? It's going to exclude me. I'm not going to be just another number on your list. I'm either going to be the person that you're going to get to know because you messaged me, showing interest, or we're going to just move on. And I'm going to force you to decide quickly. When I say force, I mean that respectfully. It's not even forcing, but you know what the word means, right? You know when I say force, you basically tactfully and politely put her in a position where she has to make a choice. Women don't like to make choices. Women like to roam around all day, every day. They're like cats. They roam around all day, every day. They come and go as they please. That's how they are, right? So my job, because men are like dogs and women are like cats, my job as a dog is to say, hey, you're either interested or you're not. I'm not forcing you to give me your number. I'm not forcing you to want to get to know me. But you messaged me, and on Bumble, when women message you, it's because they're interested. They have to message you first to start conversation. So you messaged me, so that's basically saying you're interested. How interested are you? Are we going to move forward? Or are you going to try to keep me on this app so you can toggle a bunch of guys? I shared a story earlier from the studio regarding a woman that tried to get me to call her on the app, but then I told her a few things, and she gave me her number. Because she knew that if she didn't give me her number, I was going to walk away. Guys, you have to be willing to walk away if a woman is not going to be respectful to you. Part of a woman being respectful to you is not putting you in endless backup status while she figures out which one of the 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 guys she wants to choose. You got to understand, guys, you have a lot more control over this than you think. The reason why some of you guys don't know how to handle it properly is because you get fazed by a hot, sexy woman messaging you. Doesn't matter how hot and sexy she is. What matters is how interested is she in you, and is she a woman of integrity, or is she just looking to play games? Is she just looking to fill up, her black book? Let's figuratively call it that. There's no black book anymore. It's like your smartphone. Is she looking to fill up her phone with a bunch of numbers and put you on backup status, or does she really want to get to know you? Right? And here's another thing, guys, what you guys don't realize. This woman I was talking about earlier on my live stream from the studio, the reason why I think I got her number is because I think this woman respected me for standing up to her. She was shit testing me. And she respected me for standing up to her and saying, hey, I'm a good dude looking for a good woman. I don't want to sit here on this app with all these distractions. If you want to get to know me, let me know if you want to send my number or send me your number, and I'd be happy to get to know you, right? And then she gave me her number, right? Sometimes it's a test. Other times, it's just women being overly cautious. Maybe they're not ready for something. They're just looking to feel the side out. They're seeking validation. They're trying to get 20 or 30 numbers. They're going to talk to every single one of those 30 guys before they make a decision on one. And listen, I'm not going to sit here and wait 3-4 months for this woman to talk to 20 or 30 guys to decide. I want a woman that's ready to take a chance. Life is short. I'm spontaneous. You like me, I like you. Let's have one phone conversation. Let's meet and let's just go from there. Why waste time? Especially at my age, I'm 47. And most here. I'm on my second lap. I hope that side cleared up a little bit. There were a lot of people there earlier. No sound? Now there's sound? Oh, Queen, that was probably reception. Queen, is it coming from here? Can you hear this pounding of the mic? Let me know. That was probably just reception going bad for a second, Queen. Eli, you can't force somebody to give you their number because that will make them run away. I'll respond to that in a second, Queen. 6 feet and 6 inches, top 5%. That's top 10%, Ace History, but I know what you're saying. Why does the chat keep freezing? I don't know, Queen. I don't know. The trick with online dating is not chatting yourself right out of the date. Use the phone to set up the date. The match shows the level of physical attraction is already there. You have to understand one thing, Ace History. Let me respond to you first, and I'll respond to Queen. You have to understand, I live in the San Francisco Bay Area. And if you think that in your neck of the woods, back east, Ace History, in your area, and where you're at, Queen, if you think that women are bad enough being flaky there, playing games, it is 10 times worse here in the San Francisco Bay Area. The level of entitlement with the women that live here, with no disrespect, not all of them, it's most. So you have to filter them out fast. The level of entitlement here is sky high. You have to also understand that the area I live in is a very large metropolitan area. So there are a lot of single women here and single men. So you have a lot more people to filter through. You're living in one of the most expensive areas on the planet. There are a lot more stigmas here. There's just a lot more to deal with here, right? So you have to understand one thing, Ace History, especially in my neck of the woods. If you don't get the phone number, it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. Now, in your neck of the woods, smaller town area, I'm not saying there aren't a decent amount of women there. There probably are. But I can tell you right now, there's probably at least 50 plus times more women in my area than yours. So the competition is different. And I don't like to make it a competition, but it is a competition. Here, give me a second here. Here in the Bay Area, bro, if you don't, get the woman to show you something beyond just responding to a profile, just because they're interested, doesn't mean they're 100% attracted to you. They could have a small level of attraction for you. Some women get Bumble Premium and just message everybody that swipes right on them. Eli, you live in the liberal central, and lots of liberals are very entitled snowflakes. I agree with you. That's a great statement. And UC Berkeley is the snowflake capital of the world. I live near UC Berkeley. Okay? I'm about almost an hour from there, but I'm close by. So yes, it's worse out here. So out here, if you don't get the phone number, then you've got zero level of investment, right? And even if you have the phone number, you don't really have a whole lot of investment from the woman nowadays anyway. If we go back 10, 20 years ago, maybe 20 years ago, before all these apps came out, if you were to do just online dating without the apps and you would meet women on AOL or Craigslist or different ways, right? If you got the phone number, you pretty much had all their attention. Nowadays, even just getting a phone number doesn't mean shit. It doesn't mean anything. So even having the phone number doesn't mean anything. If you don't have the phone number and they want to talk with you through the dating app's calling feature or video feature, there's zero investment. Look, if you want something to work with a woman in the modern world that's trying to find the best guy for her on a dating app that's going to feed her hundreds of connections, you got to do something that's going to get you to stand out amongst the rest. That's what I do. You got to do something that no other guy would do. That might throw them off for a second, but if you're cool about it and you explain it the way I do, straight up, but respectfully and in a non-forceful way, you basically politely force them to make a decision. You basically are a guy going out to the woman and saying, look, I know you have a lot of attention here, right? I'm not saying it, I don't say that exactly, but in my head, what you're conveying is, I know you're getting a lot of attention. You messaged me, I messaged you back, I'm interested in getting to know you. Let's talk off the app. You basically force them to make a decision. So you're not forcing them to do anything. What you're doing is you're forcing them to make a decision to either give you their number or it's not going anywhere with you, and you can go and focus on the other guys, which are going to be primarily beta mons, beta mons, beta mon, beta mons, beta mon, right? You got to be assertive because these women are used to having everything handed to them. They're used to the thirsty beta males giving them everything. So when you're assertive, it might throw them off for a little bit, but some of them will be like, ooh, this guy's different. Now some of them will say, oh, this guy is too pushy, right? I've had women say, you're a little pushy. You know what I do when they say that? I block them immediately. I end conversation. You know why? Because those are the women playing games too. The ones that say I'm pushy are used to dealing with beta males that conform to all their wants and needs. So I want nothing to do with these women because they're not interested in me. They think they are, but they're not. They're interested in beta male conformists, which I'm not a beta male conformist. So like I said in my stream yesterday, you gotta be direct and decisive. And if you have a woman that's overly cautious, solely on the fact of not wanting to give her number, right? If she's overly cautious with her number, that's what I'm trying to say. Just imagine how overly cautious she's gonna probably be in other aspects. She's probably gonna be one of those women that is very structured and is not gonna wanna be intimate with you for a certain amount of dates. She's gonna try to control the situation. A woman that is interested in you is gonna be submissive and is going to give you her number when you ask for it if she's interested, right? She's either gonna feel it or she's not. And if she feels it, she's not gonna wanna lose that connection, so she'll give you the number. If she doesn't give you her number, even on a site like Bumble, she's just not interested. Now, asystole, if you're still around, if you've used the phone version of the Bumble app just to get laid, then I can understand why women wouldn't want to give their number out, right? But if you're looking for something sustainable long-term, which I only look at those apps, I'm not looking for a hookup. If a woman is looking for something sustainable long-term, and she's not willing to exchange numbers and wants to keep it on the app, then she's not ready for it. And again, she probably is going to have hesitation to other aspects. Intimacy, she's probably going to lack communication, lack integrity. If women are holding back on something as simple as giving out their number if they feel connected to you and they want to get to know you, that's just the beginning, guys. It's a red flag. Again, if you're looking for a hookup, which I don't tell people what to do, but my channel is not about helping people get hookups. My channel is about, at least on the personal side of things, it's about helping people find the one, sustainable, long-term relationships. You want to get a hookup? That's on you. There are plenty of other channels that can help you get there. I mean, the concept is pretty simple. It's almost the same as if you're looking for a relationship. It's just that, you know, you're looking for a hookup, right? And again, when you're looking for a hookup, it doesn't matter if you have her number or not. All that matters is, okay, if she decides to meet you and invites you over, that she gives you the right place. But here's the thing. If she invites you over to her place or if she comes to your place, okay, well, if she comes to your place, then you don't have her number or her address. Let me ask you this, Cicely, if you're around. When you've hooked up with these women, did they come to your place? Did you go to their place? Did you get a room? So neither of you knew each other's numbers or your addresses, right? Like, this is the way the world is today. It's like you can't even be yourself anymore, right? People are even afraid to put their name out on YouTube. My name's Elias Melas. I live in Redwood City. Like, people are just afraid to be themselves. They want to hide in plain sight because they think everyone's a crazy in this world and is going to troll them or make their life miserable. And it closes off people to the point of where nothing real happens anymore because we just can't trust anyone, right? Let's talk through the app. Let's video chat so I can make sure you're not catfishing me. For Christ's sake, do you want me to run a background check? Give it to you? I'd be happy to do that. You want my high school report cards? What else do you want before we go on a date? For Christ's sake. Guys, you want to meet a woman that's going to make it simple for you. A woman that's going to make it simple for you is going to give you her number. You talk once. You meet shortly after that same day, next day, or by the weekend. And if there's chemistry and it feels right, you go for the kiss. And if she allows you to kiss her, it works. Sorry, folks. For some reason, the plug came out again. Were you able to hear me, Queen, there for a little bit until the plug came out? Queen, can you hear me again from the mic? This is funny. All right. Okay. I think we're back to being good. Yeah, the little dongle thingy popped out again. I don't know if it's just wearing down or something. I'll have to figure it out. We're still good right now. Let me check out the chat real quick. Coach, tons of women I match with complain to me that these men don't even ask them out on dates anymore. 99% are beta mons. It's so easy to stand out now. Well, bro, here's the thing. You got to understand something asystole. You live in a different area than I do. If I lived in your area, asystole, and I wanted to bang your entire town with my skills, and you have the skills too, because you've learned from all this stuff out here that we've been teaching for years, bro. I could probably bang all those women out there. Would I do it? No, because I'm looking for something sustainable, right? You got to understand, your women in your area are going to be different than women from the San Francisco Bay Area, the liberal capital of the world, the radical, feminist capital of the world. Women are very, very entitled out here, bro. You got to understand that. Not all of them, but many of them. Most of them are. And then, when you come across the nice ones, the decent ones, they've been screwed over so many times that they put you through the ringer to make sure you don't do the same thing to them that the other guys did, right? So you have to understand, dude, the demographic is different. Now, I'm not saying that, the women in your area are completely different. They still can tell betas from alphas. But I'm sure that the feminist thing is still, happening out there. It happens everywhere, but it's not as bad. You understand what I'm saying? That's what we're dealing with out here in the Bay Area. Here, give me a second here. Folks, this is going to be my last lap here. So get your questions in. We're on lap number 3. Cycling, don't take it seriously. So if men are dogs, do you have an insatiable desire to lick your own? Come on, man. That's funny, dude. That's funny. Anyway. So again, like I was saying at the beginning of the show, I'm not trying to come out here and say that women shouldn't be cautious and men shouldn't be cautious. Okay? You've got to do what you feel is right, and you have to protect yourself too, right? To a certain extent, right? But if you're somebody that is truly seeking the relationship with a good man, right? A lot of these women that are overly cautious are genuinely seeking a good man. But what they don't realize is that the good men that they want are not going to sit around and wait for them to, come around. They're either going to be ready or they're not. It's not trying to rush these women into anything. The point of the matter is that us guys, when we were younger, the first or second time, we would encounter women like this, and we would slow things down and take 2, 3, 4, 5 months to get to know them, right? And then we meet up with them 5 months down the road, and then there's no chemistry because they didn't feel it in person. So that's what you're trying to avoid, guys. You're trying to avoid being led on, being put on backup status. You're trying to get to the point quick and see if it's there or it isn't. Women that try to slow you down are just not ready to be with anyone. A woman that's ready for something is going to be open to the right guy coming into the picture. Lots of people at the park today. It's a great day. Whew. Let me see here real quick. Is the audio still working fine, Queen? Specialized Cycling Club A10 says, Coach is a gold medalist in the pelvic thrust. Well, Specialized Cycling Club, here's the thing. For the right woman, I am. I'm not into hookups or anything like that, dude. I'm not. I don't have time for that crap. I'm not saying it wouldn't be fun. But what I'm seeking is pretty simple. I want to meet a good woman. Maybe we can meet one night during the week. If that works out, then we can hang out on weekends. I'm looking for a woman that has weekends off, that likes to go hiking, nice dinners, weekend getaways to different hiking adventures. Pretty simple, bro. I mean, there are other things we could do too, but I'm just looking for something simple. No drama, no games, something that's just going to be natural and easy. What a lot of these women don't get, asystole, that want a relationship is, like I said a second ago, if the right guy comes around like me and you don't make it easy for me, I'm going to be out. I'm not going to sit there and put up with BS or something that's going to, waste my time. I'm not going to invest in something that's on the fence. As a woman, if you want to have a chance with a good guy like me, if you're truly seeking something real, you're going to have to prove to me that you're worthy of my time. And of course, I'm going to show you I'm worthy of yours. We talk on the phone, I'm going to be respectful to you, but I'm going to be seeking the same thing in return. I'm going to show you, or let you even hear through my words and communicate with you, which is a better way to put it, that I'm going to be worthy of your time. How will you communicate to me that you're worthy of my time, like you want me to be worthy of yours? It's beautiful. 2 Walking with Purpose videos, back to back, Did one yesterday, did one today. I'm trying to get these Walking with Purpose videos coming back almost every day. It's just a lot of work, folks, and sometimes some days are busier than others. Sometimes other things come up in life, and I still take my walks every day, but folks, setting up one of these streams, even as a walking stream, takes a long time. Setting it up, tearing it down, it's a process. So, folks, what are your thoughts? And Queen, you were saying that. Let me see. I never answered your question. Queen was saying. Where is it? Beautiful trees this year. You were on earlier, but I was at work. It was a good show, BWYA. No problem, though. You can't make everyone. Not a big deal. Where was that one that Queen put? Queen, you had said earlier something. I don't know if you deleted that message or not. You had said that you can't force a woman to give you her number or anything. No, I agree with that. It's not about forcing the woman to do anything. The only thing you can force a woman to do, and to me this is the only thing that as a man you have the right to do to anyone, or even as a woman, you can force them to make a decision. What I mean by that is, you put it out there and say, hey, look, I don't talk through the Bumble app. I don't talk on the Bumble app phone. I only talk on my regular cell phone. If you'd like to give me your number, I'd love to chat with you. If not, I'm sorry, it's not going to work for me. I don't say it like that because I wait to see what they say, but I basically put it in a polite way and say, look, I'm looking to get off the site because it's too distracting. I don't use the app phone on Bumble because I don't like it. I don't trust it. I prefer to have a more personable conversation by exchanging numbers. Let me know what your thoughts are, right? In essence, you're forcing her to say yes or no. You're not forcing her to do what you want. Women, if you don't force women to make a decision, they're going to go around in circles like a merry-go-round. Hey, Cicely, you tell me if I'm wrong. If you don't force a woman to make a decision, it's going to go around like a merry-go-round. Oh, let me think about it. Oh, I'll get back to you. Oh, no. No, I don't have time for that. You're either in or you're out, right? And if you're a strong man that stands up to her, there's a chance she might get turned on by that and say, okay, I'm in. Or she might say you're pushy. But forcing a woman to make a decision, there's nothing wrong with that. That's not being rude. What the hell was that? Was that like a firecracker or something? I don't know what the hell that was. I heard that loud sound. People will mess with you when you're on the air too. They do it on purpose. It's all right, trolling in person, right? It's not like I haven't dealt with that before. Those crazy people used to send people to Red Morton Park to stalk me. Now I'm telling them, why don't you come and join me for, a moment in the kindness corner. No big deal. No big deal. So like I said, Queen, there's nothing wrong with forcing anyone to make a decision. It's not rude. It's not being pushy or anything. It's basically saying, hey, look, you don't have to agree with me or you don't have to accept my terms. I'm just saying you're either in or you're out, right? And all they have to do is say, I'm out. You're too pushy, dude. I feel like you're forcing me to give you my number. Well, I kind of am. Because I don't want to waste my time. I'm forcing you not to give me your number. I'm forcing you to choose whether you want to get to know me or not. And you giving me your number shows me that you're interested or you're not. I'm looking to see a woman's level of interest as quickly as possible so I don't have to waste any more time than necessary with that woman. Now, the same thing applies to women. On the flip side, if you're getting to know guys and, they're beating around the bush with you, then you got to call them out too. But I don't really see this as a problem on the flip side. It's more so a problem that women do to men. Women are a lot smarter at handling these things than most men are, because most men are betas. The only guys that really understand this stuff are the alphas, like myself, a sister lead, the real guys that have been red-pilled and understand modern-day female nature, and that women have an incredible amount of options. And you're going to be just one of many options unless you do something that's going to stand you out of the crowd. That's why I do what I do. It stands me out of the crowd. I am different than any of those guys that they're talking with. And because of that, sometimes they give me a chance. Sometimes they say I'm pushy. When they say I'm pushy, it's because they're used to being with betas, and it would never work out with me anyway, right? But if I'm direct, and the woman likes that I'm direct, and I stand out amongst other guys she's dealt with, and that turns her on, then that's my way in. I just stood out amongst 200 guys, right? Just for standing up for myself and not being a suck-up, right? and not complying with everything she asks me to do, like let's talk on the Bumble app. No, let's talk on the phone. I'm a gentleman, I'm old school. I'd like to get to know you. I don't have time to be on this thing. My time is valuable. So the choice is yours. If you want to talk, this is the way I'm open to doing it. If not, no worries. Good luck to you. Right? Can't be afraid to risk it all. Don't be afraid of getting rejected. Just be direct, be decisive. Half a lap to go, folks. Get your questions, comments, or concerns in. No decision is a decision. Of course it is. Mike S., are you critical mass? Nope, can't force him to make a decision either. Well, Queen, here's the thing. I get where you're coming from on that. You see, Queen, sure, you're right. You can't technically force a woman into anything or to make a decision, right? But if you, let's say you are talking with a woman and you're on the app and you say, look, I don't use the Bumble app. I'm open to talking off the phone or on the phone, off the app. And if you want to send me your number, I'd be happy to connect with you, right? In essence, you're politely forcing her to make a decision because she might not respond to you. She's either going to respond and give you her number, or she's going to avoid you and possibly block you, Queen. So in essence, you're right. You can't force a woman into anything. But it's an indirect forcing. You understand what I'm saying? You're asking a question. You're basically stating that I will not talk on the Bumble app. I'm only open to talking on regular phone. Would you like to send me your number so we can chat off this way or off this app in a non-distracting way? Again, Queen, they're either going to get back to you and give you their number, or they're going to say no, they're not interested in that, or they're going to block you, right? So either way, you forced her to make a decision. I think you're misunderstanding what I mean by force. I don't mean brute force. I don't mean force in the way of a man being a controlling guy or anything, but you have to understand, Queen, understand this. You're a woman, and with all due respect, women are going to give you the runaround for as long as you allow them to, right? Women are emotional beings. They're going to toggle a bunch of guys on, and they're just going to go around and laugh and dance and hop, skip, and jump, right? And listen, you know, you're trying to get their attention. They're trying to get yours, right? Right? And everyone's trying to get everyone's attention, right? She probably has multiple people trying to get her attention. I've got multiple people trying to get mine. So what's going to make us connect? Someone has to say, hey, look, we're either going to make this happen or we're not. You have to force a decision. And like I said, somebody coming here. You have to force a decision. So there's a lady coming with a baby, and the sidewalk is very narrow here. There's just not enough room for two people to walk by when there's a stroller going right down the middle. You have to force them to make a decision, or else you're going to be spinning your wheels. I know that you don't like hearing it that way because it sounds derogatory, but it's not. Let me give you an example, Queen and everyone else. This used to be a selling technique we used to use, like at Office Depot and Office Max. You know, like when we would talk with somebody, when we were, qualifying someone for a printer or a computer or something they wanted to buy, right? And you could kind of tell they were interested in getting it, right? you can kind of say certain things subliminally to try to close the sale and say, I'd be happy to bring this up to the front for you, and you can check it out more, and we can open it up, make sure everything's in there, let me bring this up to the front for you, and I'd be happy to help you further, right? And you almost kind of like force them into a decision of whether they're going to buy it or not, because some people are just going to come in there to the store and talk your ear off and not buy, right? And your job is to make a sale. You have to make a sale, right? That's the business. So it's like an old selling technique, right? It's basically, look, I want to see how interested you are in actually buying the product or going on a date with me or whatever it is, right? I'm not going to sit around and just, chit-chat all day and all week and all month and just validate you through this app or talk with you through this app and just, not meet and not, get together and possibly make out and be intimate. Like, I'm not going to do that. So you got to get to the point as soon as possible. Do it in a tactful and respectful way, right? But again, guys, I'll tell you this, especially on Bumble or sites that have built-in phones where the woman doesn't have to give you her number. Don't talk with them on those numbers. Now, unless you're looking for a hookup or something like that, which I don't help guys with that. If you're looking for something real and genuine and long-term, you want to take it off. You want to take it off the app, and you want to take it to your phone. Once that happens, you have a little more investment by the woman, and you're more invested. You have her number, she has yours. You can text each other directly outside of the app. You can call each other directly. It gives you folks a feel like you've taken that first step, right? And until you take that first step, you're not going to go anywhere. It's just a back and forth game and just another number, just another person on the app. That's all. You want to be that person that takes her off the app and takes her into the real world and shows her that, yes, there are some real men left out here. Let me show you how much of a man I am, right? All right, folks, we're about to go off the air here. In about 2 or 3 minutes, I'm heading back to my car. Did 3 miles today, that's good enough. I'll work out a little bit more at my place. It's all good in the hood. Get your questions, comments, or concerns in, folks. I'm going to stop underneath this tree here, and I'm going to check out the chat. Boop-boop-boop. Let me see here. Eli A10 got 3 accounts? No, only this one. Oops. Hold on. I might have gone off the air for a second. I think I'm back though. Any potential mate who communicates uncertainty regarding partner selection is not worth the investment. Well, you're right. I think what you're also saying, asystole, is that it goes for women too. You see, women are going to naturally show more uncertainty because they're emotional beings. But if they show more than the reasonable amount of uncertainty, for example, like I said, overly cautious women, stay away from them. It's never going to work. They're not ready, right? And they're going to be overly cautious about every aspect of the relationship, from trading numbers to meeting up in person to the first kiss to intimacy. They're going to make it difficult for you, right? You don't want to be with a woman like that. That's too structured. That's just, it's going to irritate the shit out of you as a guy. It is, right? So it goes for both men and women that if they really want something, they're going to go after it, and they're not going to be afraid to take that chance. A woman that's truly ready for a relationship, when she sees that guy, she's going to go for it. When I met Dana, God, Jesus Christ, I never met a woman in my life that showed her interest as well as she did. Hats off to her, right? Hats off. I'm like, I had no doubt in my mind that that woman was interested. All women should be like that. I'm not trying to put Dana on a pedestal. I'm just saying, look, that's the way it should be. I met her. The woman put her arm around me right away. Give me a big hug. I'm like, okay, I guess this works. Let's go take a walk. Then let's make out. Let's go from there, right? All right, folks, I'm going to go off the air in just a few minutes here. We are at 1 hour and 21 minutes. She sounds like a spectacular person. So that's not asystole. I think that is critical mass on this backup account. Because asystole knew Dana. All right, everyone, I'm going to get on out of here. We're going to leave 13 in the box. 6 thumbs up. Please get those thumbs up, folks. I'd appreciate it. I'll just say this, guys. If someone's being too cautious to the point of where they're not going to let you in, why waste your time on that? I'm not trying to be rude. I'm a good guy. I've encountered many women in my life that have been overly cautious. But I'll be honest with you, I'm seeing more and more overly cautious women over the last year or two in this modern world. It's gotten worse because I think what the pandemic did is that a lot more people were staying home from work. A lot more people were hooking up. I think over the last year or so, guys have just gone on there and just told women anything and everything under the sun just to get a piece of ass. And now these women are like more jaded than ever. And so, again, regardless of what's happened, if you're a good dude and you're looking for something real, you got to be direct, decisive. If a woman is too overly cautious, okay, like for example, if she doesn't want to give you her number on the site, she wants to talk on the site's phone app or video app, ask her, a second time after she turns you down and say, listen, I'm a good dude. I want to get off this app so that way we're not distracted and we can really get to know each other. If that's okay with you, please consider sending me your number and I'd be happy to chat with you. Leave it at that. Don't say anything more. You're not being rude. You're just basically saying in a polite way that I don't want to talk on the app, and if you want to talk, you need to give me your number. But you're basically forcing her to make a decision without coming off like you're forcing her, right? Now, some women will figure it out and they'll say, okay, you're forcing me, you're being pushy. Okay, you're an overly cautious woman. It wouldn't have worked anyway. And some women will say, okay, this guy makes sense. He's being reasonable. I'm done shit testing him. Here's my number, dude. Show me what you got, right? So guys, don't waste your time. If a woman's not making it simple for you, then it's probably not meant to be. A woman that's really into you, genuinely into you, is going to make it easy for you to the point of where you almost have to do a damn thing, and she'll want to be with you. Now, don't get me wrong. You're going to have to do something, but you get what I'm saying. It's almost to the point of where you don't have to do pretty much anything for the right woman that's really into you, because she's going to show that interest. She's going to go out of her way to put herself into your orbit. And that's where we're going to wrap up the stream here today at 1 hour and 24 minutes. Thank you to everyone for being here. Thank you to Asystole 810 Specialized Cycling Club. Thank you to Queen Helen Casey, BWIA Gaming, Riff Magos, Lewis Fuller was here earlier, and anyone else that I missed. With that being said, I'm not sure. I may be back for a trifecta tonight. I doubt it. We'll see what happens, but you never know. If not, I'll see you all tomorrow. Regardless, I'll see you all next time. Take care. Bye-bye. Peace out. Good night, everyone.